Hey guys, it's Viewmasters Reactions, and we're back with Campaign 2, Episode 25, Divergent Paths. I don't know what that means. I do know that when I pop the thumbnail up, that Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham are on the thumbnail. Does that mean they're gone and this is like them like, hello, in spirit, they're there? I think it's that, because when I just popped the thing on, I'm pretty sure it looked like the set was discombobulated. I don't know what I saw exactly. I just saw not everyone there. And then I was like, all right, let's just jump in. I did not watch the beginning of this one. I will go back and watch it later, but I feel like it would have been a spoiler and I kind of wanted to jump in. So I just kind of ran through the bottom real quick, got right to where I saw this. This is very easy to catch. It's very bright and it's usually right around the 8 or 9 minute mark. So if you do it and you're quick and you don't really pay a whole lot of attention, you could usually get it done. First off, this is only an hour and 15 minutes from this to the break. So I'm clearly going to go beyond the break, or else we would have roughly 7 minutes and 30 seconds for the part 1 and part 2 of what YouTube sees. The hour Patreon exclusive would pretty much cover the entire beginning. So because of that, because I don't want to just have 7 minutes in a video, we're going to talk, do our thing, and I'm going to go a little past the break. When? I don't know, because I don't know what it is exactly. I'm just going to roll with it, and we're going to see where it looks like an appropriate time to stop around the 2-hour mark. It's 4-hour episode, but that's about 20 minutes of extras in the beginning and end. I'm going to stop about the 152-hour mark. Somewhere in there, there's got to be a point. We'll find out. Let's just jump in. We are currently finding that children stole our money. We're coming up with a plan to break their parents out of prison. I don't know. Let's just go with it for now. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel. Seasons ahead of what you're seeing. Hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. We just started Infinity Train. It's going to be a Patreon exclusive. There's also Doctor Who, Eureka. This hour exclusive in between every episode. Check it out. If not, Campaign 2, Episode 25, Part 1. And we got our beverages.
And welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Oh, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
It's great.
It's great. Something happened funny. I'm so used to it at this point.
Left off,
I got a seltzer.
The Mighty Nein in making their way northward towards their eventual
water,
goal of Shady Creek Run
beer,
to complete their second mission that they accepted from the gentleman in Zadash. Have been traversing the countryside, made their way to the city of Hupperdook, the largely gnomish cultural city there of industry and currently construction of war machines to send towards the conflict with Jorahas to the east. There you saw the very hearty work atmosphere of the gnomes, and then the evening very crazy party atmosphere in which many of you dove into some hard drinking contest. You won the title of the Blushing Tankard Tavern, beating out their old champions, and woke up with terrible hangovers and realizing that most of your gold had been stolen. Upon doing some sleuthing around the town, you had bullied a couple of bullies that were pushing Rissa around. They've been a problem for a while, sent them peeing their pants and rushing. You spoke with Rissa's father and his kind of tinkering inventor store, in which you discovered a shiny object, a fantastic experimental...
The crossbow. Solid
crossbow
good
construct
times.
Of his that
Solid good
would be interested in relinquishing without payment if you do him the favor of correcting a mistake he made a while back. Apparently he crafted, on the request of the Starosta of the city, a powerful gearkeeper, a construct-like entity that was meant to help be a warden within the prison that went crazy, killed a bunch of people, and they sealed it off, and it's just kind of been there, forgotten ever since. So, you said you'd take a look at this. Eventually, you discovered that the money you had lost had been taken by 4 children who currently are without parents, who've been kind of living on the streets here in the city of Hupperdook, while their folks had been sent to prison 6 months before for being caught worshipping unapproved deities within the Empire. You, after having this conversation with them, retrieving your money, your funds, and leaving Kiri with them for the time being for safekeeping, decided to see if you had the possibility to prevent them from being sent to an Empire-run orphanage.
Oh yeah, and they're watching Kiri. Children.
Their parents in some way, shape, or form
that we just got robbed from. And how crazy does that sound? Children that just robbed us. That's what I saw. What is that? Caleb? What is he doing?
The butcher home, leaving the kids behind with Kiri. And you're now
out
in the open streets of Hupperduk.
I love how his setup is. He looks like a robot.
What would you like to do?
Is Risa still there?
Risa is still with you.
Sam is Burt Reynolds.
Okay. You said late morning, midday?
Mm-hmm.
So we could.
Caleb literally looks like a robot medic or something.
Do some scouting before nightfall. Yeah, probably.
We were talking about
looks like he's got
sleeping and then going.
We see those teenagers also. We should probably call them off.
Yes, absolutely.
The teenagers.
I really would hate for our problem with them to end up coming and finding the kids. My words aren't really here right now. You know what I mean.
Yeah, you just had a baby. I understand.
Emotionally.
Emotionally.
Yeah. Emotionally.
Yeah, do we want to leave it up to chance that we'll run into those?
Here's the thing: if Travis isn't here, are we going to?
At the very least, we can leave word with their employer, and if we run into them, we'll call them off.
I say we send Rissa to go talk to them.
Well, Rissa knows the town, though. She might be able to help us scout out this prison.
True.
It's true.
Yes.
Maybe we go back to their employer.
We'll have Rissa meet us at the prison.
I'm just thinking, Travis left. He was the big guy on helping the kids. Okay. Not that I don't want to help the kids. I don't think we got time right now.
Yeah, that sounds great. Right?
There you go. Yeah, Ford and Chester went and told him.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Love it. I love it.
I don't know anymore. Who wants the node, by the way?
Oh yes. Well, let's find out if we need it.
Yeah, let's hold on to it.
On Talks Machina.
Emergency situation.
Fair.
Use node in case of emergency.
Now that we have a back.
Jester, could we perhaps hold on to your backpack before you?
Last Talks Machina, Molly literally said, "I've never had it once, and I don't want to ask for it."
Well, I feel it
was that his way of having others be like, Molly, you take it.
Okay, as you are.
I'm not going anywhere. Why would they give it to you? This is my bag. I paid for it.
I love it.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
I guess we're all going.
This is revenge for any time we haven't let Matt go on an NPC. Sorry.
Let's
go take a look at this. Amusing. I dig it. I could see it.
All right, I can go ahead and lead you to it.
Being bothersome if this was actually being lived by them, but I love it.
Follow me. And so Rissa guides you through the rest of the shelf back to the walkway that winds
Rissa
down
ended up being solid. I thought she might, and I hope she might. The Lower Duke.
Lower Duke, if you will.
Lower Duke.
Wait, are Ford and Jester gonna go call off the employers?
No, they're with us.
They're with you guys.
Okay.
This is Taylor Wise. If you can go ahead that way if you want to call them off, unless you want to send them on their own wild goose chase.
Those guys, they'll be fine.
I would just hate for them to find the kids and then do something.
I literally think.
How would they find the kids?
They're literally on a mission to find the kids right now.
Yeah, we put a.
They literally are doing exactly
Caleb's
that.
alarm across it, but still.
We did.
Still, if they get across.
Exactly. I don't know.
I could maybe send him a message.
Oh yes, you have that spell, don't you?
I do. Can you do it to the kids?
To Fitz and Ashton.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
To Fitz.
Man, that solves that problem.
She kind of quietly tugs on the symbol of the traveler of her holy symbol and goes like, okay, Fitz, this is the girl with the people that were making you angry.
You have like 8 words left.
We found it, so
We don't need help.
everything is good.
Go back to work.
I think that's all of it.
That's all of it. Go back to work.
Technically, go back to work can be one word if you say it fast enough.
That's true. A lot of that was hyphenated.
Yeah, what is that rolling? That used to be a roll I see often with things like this. Like how many letters in a word before you're into the next. You get very specific.
Which is You're guided to the base of it. You've seen it as you approached, and there was the large platform elevator that rose up to the second layer. It's currently not being used. It's locked on the upper floor. And as you head into that area, you can see the smokestacks are billowing strongly. Business is in the process of being done full throttle in the understanding that this coming conflict, or the now arrived conflict on the eastern side, has put everyone into overdrive to prepare whatever sort of equipment or weaponry they can send that direction.
And the stuff they're making is like catapults or guns?
Well, you can, from the outside, all that you can see is you haven't been inside any of the warehouses. Because there is the
I like the question.
The assembly yard. The assembly yard is the open space where they're building these large siege engines.
But it doesn't sound like a whole lot of anything.
Mobile carts that are either horse-drawn
That's what we heard
or
last
powered
time.
by something
I wanted
we
more
don't quite
specifics.
understand yet, that have other large weapons attached to them.
We saw bolt throwers, those giant bolt throwers, like Lord of the Rings style.
And if
siege towers.
There you go. She's
also
saying.
kind of Lord of the Rings style. Battering ram, like every fantasy movie style, but definitely Lord of the Rings. And then huge cannons.
Not very Lord of the Rings.
Pirates.
Cool.
Pirates.
That's what we saw last, or that's what I think I saw when we did like a perception check or something.
And then there's like a big factory that looks like an Evil Willy Wonka.
I like that Marisha's up there with a robot computer Caleb. And she's the way she's sitting, it almost seems like she's the boss right now, like Carmen Sandiego.
Smelter, and
he's wearing a hat
over to
and
what
has
looks
the
like a
colors
cluster
like her.
of a dozen or so warehouses that are all kind of scattered in a spiderweb-like formation that are connected by a series of hallways between each other, and then towards a central piece. She goes, that there is where most of the foundries of the city lie, where all the various mined ingots or those imported are melted down and utilized. The foreman there is a bit of a tool. There's the Arma Vault, and she points to the far northern side of the mountain base, and you see what looks to be a 25, 30 foot tall by 60 foot across iron door that is solid and jammed into the side of this mountain. It looks like it's very well protected from this glance at the distance from what you can see. There's
I would
maybe
assume so, having
2
been
dozen or so
described as
Crown's
such.
Guard that are stationed at its base. That there is, that's where most of the funds that are saved for the uses of the city maintain, as well as a number of the not currently being used devices of war. Means of defending the city should it come under attack, if you will.
Maybe some prototypes, some craziness. I would break in that shit, but I mean, it's fortified and heavily.
Rising from. There is this one large, almost like a 2-story black tower that is just a single column of fast-moving, just smoke pouring out of it, and you can see areas where the smoke seems to be pulsing almost, or darkening and widening at certain places. That there's the underbellows. That's where
Marisha, write it down.
They utilize a number of the forges and furnaces for the factories here. They've harnessed some of the volcanic activity beneath the mountain, and that kind of maintains a sort of consistent heat for the forges. Smells downright awful, to be honest.
To be honest,
there's the firework facility.
To be honest, I know it
over
smells like shit
a building that
right
looks
now.
a little simpler. It's not super tall and ominous looking. It's very plain, made of kind of cheap metals. You notice all the buildings here are mostly metal, probably because there's a lot of dealing with heat.
Why
fire,
does Sam have a monkey?
Sparks.
For
and
Burt
the last thing
Reynolds.
Is
he
any of
not
these things
Burt
to catch
Reynolds?
fire. She points though to the firemark facility. She goes, "This is where they're developing a majority of that, certain explosive and black powder-based technologies."
What's that place called again?
It's called the firemark facility.
Oh, that one. Okay, I didn't hear
Heavily
that.
protected.
Oh, most everything is here. And then right over there, and she points to the southern side
What
of
a
the mountain
question to
base
ask
of the
somebody.
island.
I mean, I know she's our friend now, but come on.
Doorway, similar in shape and construction as to the Arma Vault, but it's a little more localized, maybe about 15 foot high and about 20 foot wide. That is the Gearhold prison.
That's what I'm
The one
talking
you were asking
about.
The one where my
I was gonna say, where is the prison?
father done fucked up.
What do you know about that machine he built anyway?
Yes, do tell, please.
Have you ever seen in Automaton whether made of stone or made of clay.
Come across a couple.
Imagine one that's made of metal and gears and blades. Lots of blades.
What? Blades?
Blades.
Blades. Blades.
Vampire hunters. Sorry.
It is covered in daywalkers, yes.
Do the blades like spin?
They do. The whole thing spins, actually. It doesn't have fate.
It just rolls and cuts.
My God.
Oh my God.
And it is animated by
It's covered
magical
in
means?
blades.
Partially
I'm
magical
like,
and
what?
partially clockwork.
Is it like steam powered? Is it or
Wesley
is it
Snipes, blades.
The power source is magical, but most of its actual locomotion is done through clockwork and various internal gears. It's actually quite a marvel to behold.
I was going to say, this
the
thing
magic
sounds
power
awesome. It
source,
sounds
then.
like something we've
As far as
seen
I know. It's not my
somewhere.
mastery. It's my
And not just,
So
maybe not
where's the
Vox Mach,
source?
or,
What is it? It's inside of it. I would
was it
assume.
Calamity
The
had
source of combustion.
big
Maybe.
giant
What did your father
automatons?
call this robot?
robot?
He referred to it as the gear keeper.
The gear keeper.
It was designed to be one of the threatening wardens to help quell any sort of breakouts of the prison, and meant as an intimidation device for those who attempted to rise up against their captors.
And it ripped men
and
in
possibly
half.
be its first initial run to be a defensive sentinel for the city. I mean, if these things work properly, having 5 or 6 of them just rapidly on the outskirts of the city would probably keep anyone from trying to break in here or make any sort of lawless act in its boundaries.
100%. It's like
Unfortunately,
Ed
they only
209's.
made one, and it went crazy and killed a bunch of people. So
Yeah.
That's
there's
it. It's an Ed 209 kind of scenario.
Live in.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to fix it.
And they just let it. They've sort of like cornered it into a.
They sealed it off. They've been trying to get back to it, but there's a lot of distraction, and honestly, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, I think.
Honestly, we could just show up and say we've been hired to try and
He
take care of it
made
and go in and.
Would
the
anyone
first
believe
RoboCop.
that? We're-
We technically have been hired
backfired.
to go in and take care of it. We were
Well,
just working them training.
technically, the first
no, not
RoboCop
by the
did,
city,
'cause
it's by private
There
contractor.
were others before him.
I am sorry, I don't understand. You say, they're too busy to deal with it. Have they got it locked away in a vault while it just stomps around? Or?
As far as I know, yeah. There's they had originally had it placed on the bottom floor in one section, which had more of the very violent criminals, and killed a bunch of them. Not too bad. Killed a bunch of guards. That's pretty bad. And at the time, they didn't have the manpower to fight it off, so they sealed the doors and haven't had a problem since.
So was anyone else left in there with it? That it
If
maybe didn't kill, or
Been
probably
there for
killed
quite
anything?
some time, a couple of years at least, I think, 2 or 3 years. So if anyone was, they've expired, I'm pretty sure. Sorry.
That's fine by
They
me.
sealed it down there and no one ever went
We're
back?
going to have to do a little more research, but I'm feeling pretty good about our prospects.
Yeah.
Well, but
Is that
the-
how I'm
the
suppo-
main
how-
concern is just getting in the prison. I don't know if walking up to the front door and saying, "Hi, we're here to take care of your spinny death problem" is going to work.
We heard you have a bug problem. We're here to take care of it.
Do we need
That sounds
outfits
like what he
or
said, but
something?
I mean, I suggest that we wear shoes and pants, but
Walking man outfits, or like, do we need to look like we're official?
Uniform of some sort?
I don't know why
we
that
could
was
have a
so
letter
funny.
from your father, perhaps.
I suggest we wear
They
shoes
don't
and
like your
pants.
father.
Yeah, but they'd be perfectly happy if we're going in knowing full well what we're getting into. There's no harm, no foul there.
awesome black
Yeah, and they
suits.
certainly.
I've
have
said
nothing
this
to lose.
before.
We
I
are
feel like
a group of
Tal'dorei
people
has been
claiming we have to deal with their
so
issue.
much more
We're either
vocal.
dying
I'm
doing
totally
it.
in now. Molly has
Solve the
shot
problem.
up.
Heist type maintenance workers uniforms?
You really want to break into a
I
prison?
just want to wear a onesie.
I kind of want
I feel
something
like we can make that dream come true.
something with a big lapel, maybe double-breasted. Sounds great. We would look so handsome, you guys.
Jester leans into Risa. It's like, Risa, do you have any examples of your father's writing? Because I can copy it pretty well.
That sounds like something that's
Gorgeous.
way too smart for Laura to say.
So lucky you're not watching.
But he's telling the truth.
Should be watching.
He probably is telling the truth. Maybe. I don't want to be mean
I would
either.
love to see if there's any.
But would
sort of
Laura
sketch
have
or
ever
blueprint
thought
this-
of that?
This thing that we
I
can just
don't
take a
know.
look
That
at
I
first and
wouldn't
maybe
have.
have a
I'm
thought of our
being
plan of
honest.
attack.
I
can
wouldn't
guarantee you they're not going to have any publicly available blueprints of a prison.
No, I mean of the
the machine.
machine.
Oh,
Would your dad?
We can certainly ask.
It's funny too because we know that Jester is
You see that spark in her
an
eye of a good
artist.
idea, and then
We could be
thinking about
using
having
this
go
to our
back the
advantage.
farm.
I just
We can
it's
go
things
on
like
our
that
own
never
if you
come to
like.
mind. I just don't think like
No,
that.
it's
I'm not an
fine.
artist, so maybe I just don't think I'm like an
I'm used
artist.
to him. It's okay.
Does your dad like pastries? Does he have a sweet tooth?
I imagine he does. I've seen him eat a
Does he
few.
like pies?
Probably.
Caleb
up your
probably
daddy pie on
loves
the way home.
the way this is set up because Caleb could
Okay.
just read books
People
and no
like
one will
pies,
know.
right?
I love them.
I mean, I
People
like
bring
pies, but
pies
I'm a
places?
bad example of
Yeah,
so
I
many
really like
things.
meat pies.
Meat pies.
Meat
Would your dad like
pies.
a meat pie?
Meat pie.
I just hear people bring pies.
Ford kind of leans
Is
into
a
it.
meat pie like a chicken
good.
pot pie or
That's
a?
good, Jester.
I know I've heard of meat pies before. I don't know if I've
But
ever
that's
had
okay.
one.
It's been a long
I
emotional
had
day.
to
Has
have
been.
had a meat pie at some point in my life.
forward.
I've had chicken pot
Too much in my head
pies.
right now, guys.
I've had pies with
5 characters at the
sausage
same time.
and stuff in them.
Brings me back.
I'm sure I've had
Thanks, baby Willingham.
whatever Baby
man.
Willingham is.
So much. It's been the longest day.
Been the longest day.
Baby Willingham.
We stop and get a meat pie on the way.
All right, easy enough as you're wandering through the street, following the sense of food that are being cooked in advance of the current lunch hour happening. You hear a few whistles go off in the distance, and in that moment, Rissa goes, "You know, we best be hurrying before the rush hits." And you pick up a pace as you start hearing the
Oh,
the different
God.
steam whistles go off, and you watch a lot of
Daybreak.
buildings begin to just swarm out with all their workers on their brief lunch break.
Brief,
You
it's
managed to stay ahead of
daybreak.
most of the wave, making their way up to the top shelf.
The whistle blows and a
of the city.
1,000
Eventually coming
workers
to one
come
of the
blowing
vendors on the
through.
outside, who is swarmed by about 12 or 13 different gnomes. You wait patiently for about a good
Took us
15,
20
minutes or
minutes.
so as they prepare and get all their meat pies ready, sweet pies ready.
The good thing is they must
sell a
be
few things, a
prepared
couple of
for
their regulars
this
kinda
time
come
of
along
day.
in front of you, not paying much attention,
People that are
preparing
used
you're
to this
waiting
kind of thing,
patiently.
they're
But
going to be
there's
like
a large
ready
crowd behind you.
with
and
a
you manage to get to
1,000
the
meat
front, and
pies.
the two gnomes that are currently in the process of digging this up kind of look at the rest of you and go, "Oh, yeah, you're a right interesting team. What brings you here? Looking for pies? We got pies. You want pies?
We'd like a hospitable
I
meat
love it.
pie.
Single?
Oh,
It's not enough to go around, I can tell you."
Well, we might
It's
need to-
not
Okay,
enough.
one for us, one for him. 2 meat pies. Sorry, 3 meat pies.
Hey,
All right.
everyone
Pulls
gets
out
their own meat
three
pie.
gnome-sized meat pies, which are about that big.
Oh,
Can we make that a double?
Six.
double-
No much meat pies.
Thank
Passes
you.
them over.
money again, don't we?
Yes, we have our money
Have your
back.
money back.
I throw down for the pies.
Okay, it's we'll say for the total of that, it's maybe a silver.
Maybe a silver.
whistles blew, Matthew.
Maybe a
Did we
silver. I
see
would have
any
bought
guards
100 meat
shift
pies.
into a shift
I would have just
change
started
at the prison?
just eating like a
Because you're
friggin'
rushing
pig
to
in
get
the street.
pies, make a perception check with disadvantage at this distance.
I don't know when it comes to beer and
Seven.
food and
Yeah,
stuff.
no
I don't know why we
idea.
don't act like slobs. It's so
No,
cheap
that was-
compared to
that's a
like
good-
what
that's
we
a good
deal
thought.
with. I would be a
have your meat
slob
pies.
and a
You wanna make
drunk.
your way
If
over
that
back
was
to
how
the
much
the
food
Tinker
and
Top.
drink cost, the
Send
places
the-
I
the,
go,
That's
I
all
like
the
you
price.
a
Anyone who
steak
wants
costs you
one,
30
let's save
bucks,
one.
and that's like a
All right, so you
regular
have one ready, you guys
place
kinda snap as
around
you
me.
walk along. Interesting point of noticing as you guys come by, you do see a familiar sight for you, and for those who've been in the Empire for a bit, you're familiar with this as well. Not and Caleb. You
Oh.
see a crew. It's
Oh.
2 Crown's Guard that are flanking one figure you see wearing a black cloak with gold trim that goes just past the shoulders. It's almost like a shawl or a brain escapes the term, but it's like a short cloak. These are the tithe collectors.
Oh, yes.
Oh, so they
They're
tax man.
referred to colloquially as reapers behind their back.
All right, guys, we're gonna call it there. So there we go. We got the tithe men. They are also called the Reapers. They have trench coats, maybe something like that. Did I hear that, or am I thinking that in my head because I want it to be so? They sound pretty cool, even though they're probably really horrible people. We're gonna find that out in the Patreon exclusive hour. The reason I stopped where I did, we could do the hour Patreon exclusive, and that will go right to the break. Then part 2 will be the first 30 minutes of after the break. Only reason why I'm doing it that way is because if we don't do it that way, just the content alone will be upwards of 2.5 hours. By the time we do our talk in the beginning and the end and we get settled in and we have everything going, that would make it like 4 to 5 hour easily live stream. And we've done it before, but I'm trying to avoid that. If we've done it before, it's only because I didn't realize how long a live stream it was, or it was something like Calamity where we just prepared ourselves and got in. If it was just a long episode, I would do it how I had to do it. But the fact that there isn't enough content to do a part 2, it makes sense to do it this way. So we'll still have around 2 hours of actual live stream, plus everything else we do. You know, they always end up being over 3 hours, sometimes over 4 hours. I also wanted to say this week coming up, we're going to do the live stream Friday, which is episode 25. Obviously, there's going to be the Patreon exclusive hour and then part 2. But the live stream Friday is going to finish up episode 25. Then Sunday, a week from today is Sunday, it is around 4 o'clock on Sunday today, probably around this time, we're going to jump into episode 26. So we're going to have 2 live streams this week. The dude JB asked me to do it that way, and he is my moderator, so I said, why not? If I'm not doing anything, let's check it out. Westworld ends tonight. I'm watching Westworld tonight. That is the finale of season 4. Amazing show. Every episode's on YouTube. All of them are on full on Patreon. Go check it out. But that ends tonight. So next week, I have up in the air, because Rick and Morty doesn't start till September 4th, which is also a Sunday, around the same time as Westworld. But I don't got to worry about that. I have a perfect little 2-week break in there, and we're going to jump into episode 26. So 2 live streams coming up this week. You want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Eureka. We're about to start Infinity Train, Patreon exclusive. At some point, it will go up on YouTube, chopped up and edited. But for now, check the link for Patreon. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.